Hello guys, welcome to this channel. Today we are reviewing Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. First announcement is I'm at like 85, 86 subscribers, I think. I want to try to hit 100 before I go to camp. I leave for camp June 20th, so let's see if we can make that happen. Second thing, obviously Multiverse of Madness is coming out in a couple weeks. I'm going to watch through the entire MCU starting probably tomorrow, and then once I get to Multiverse of Madness, that's when I'll rank the movies and TV shows again. So, Harry Potter review franchise, it's gonna go until until it finishes. My goal is to finish it by Monday or Tuesday. Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts review franchise, because I've gotten 2 down. I have 9 left to go, 8 if you exclude Secrets of Dumbledore, and then when I see that movie, I'm going to review it and then rank the movies. So let's get started. Starting off what this movie's about, this movie has a killer on the loose now, and who's supposedly the serial killer called Sirius Black, and you have your students at Hogwarts again, and then they introduce these new things called Dementors, and then a new defensive dark arts teacher called Professor Lupin teaches Harry the charm to sort of, I guess, defend the Dementors, and it's the Patronus charm. And you see all of that sort of play out, and then there's revelations about Harry's parents. Not really about Harry's parents, but the process of the murder of Harry's parents, more or less. And yeah, now we have the good. And overall, I think what this movie does so well, it just does the story just really nicely. I think everything from the start of mystery to the way everything plays out, it all just works like really well, and I'm just kind of impressed of how I think good this movie is. I think this is probably the best of the franchise, definitely up to this point. I don't know if it's the best of the franchise in general, but I think it handles the story really nicely. Introduces 2 really good characters, Remus Lupin and Sirius Black. Both of them are great characters as you go on the franchise. All the other movies, I think. And Gary Oldman does a great job. I don't know who plays Lupin, but he does a great job as well. And I think this makes for a really pretty great Harry Potter movie. You learn a lot of new things. Harry has to face this challenge involving learning this charm to defend these things that are kind of after him. He has to learn the Patronus charm, and all of that is just all really compelling. And I think the way it plays out, where Harry learns that Harry's learning a bunch of stuff about how his parents were killed, involving Sirius Black and Peter Pettigrew, and the way it kind of crescendos up into the end. I think all of that really works, and the way they kind of interweave a bunch of things like the Ministry, the Hippogriff, all that little plot line. And overall, I think all of those elements really work. All the characters are pretty great. Dumbledore is acting a little out of character at times, like with the whole thing near the end with Ron's leg. It's a little odd of Dumbledore to do. Has a great story. This one's you learn a lot about werewolves and animaguses. That's all really cool. I think this one definitely has the best of all the opening scenes with the Dursleys, or whatever you call them, because I think this one is actually a bit more interesting than the first. I don't know, that might just be me. And I think the actors get even better than they were in the second one. They're good in the second one, but they're even better in this one, which is nice. And overall, I think everyone is on their A game. The story is great. The storytelling is great. A bit not so much on the lines of the first 2. Gets a bit darker and plays sort of with that very nicely. You got a new director, Alfonso Cuarón. I think I might have butchered that name, I don't know. And I think he does a fantastic job bringing a new sort of style to this franchise. All of it is great. I don't think I have any really real issues with it. Overall, I think all of those notes together, very great movie. You have a pretty good Quidditch scene. Not one of the best ones, but I think it's decent. And overall, great plot lines, great new interesting things that are entered into this franchise. And I think overall, a very good Harry Potter movie. Next up, you have the mixed. And the main thing that didn't quite work, is the Hippogriff plot line. I think I like it in some cases. It shows that magical creatures aren't always the nicest sort of things. But at times, it gets a little like distasteful at times where they have to sentence this animal to death. It doesn't really stick with you that much. You're not really. It's not like your main focus, but as you get to the end, I mean, I think the satisfaction of it actually is really nice. I think that's what keeps it from being a legit flop, and it's a little bit of an odd note. And second thing, I think the time travel plot line, it was interesting for this one movie, but they never used this thing in any of the other movies. They could have fixed many things, but I see why they didn't do it because, as Hermione says,
awful things happen to wizards who meddle with time, Harry. We can't be seen.
it could just, I don't know. So, I mean, it's not something I really focus on. It makes for a pretty interesting final battle. I actually quite like the final battle. It's not one of my favorite ones in the franchise, but I think, like, the action stuff it's alright. I think all the revelations in that little shack with Snape, Sirius, Artrio, Lupin, and the rat. So I think all of those elements are pretty good, but I think it's a good final battle. But I think the time travel, you already saw it. You kind of know how everything plays out. It's interesting to see everything again, but it's a little redundant, especially on rewatches. I don't really have anything the bad, so yeah. For this movie's final score, I'm gonna give it like a 9.4, 9.5, I guess. 9.5 out of 10. I think this is a fantastic film. I think it's very well directed. I think it's one of my favorite films in this franchise. It's not my very favorite. It's not. I do think it's not. I don't think it's as rewatchable as my number one. Okay, spoiled that. But overall, I think this is a great film. I think this is definitely the best one up to this point. And overall, yep, I think this is one of the best ones in the franchise. So I think this one's great. Tell me what you think about this movie in the comments below. I'm assuming you like it. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, so thank you guys all for subscribing. Go do that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.